Hi all, welcome to Mission 919, my channel devoted to information and narratives of African achievement, well-being, and prosperity. And today I want to talk about Cuba's medical internationalism. Many people around the world heard about the cruise ship with many British citizens on it that was allowed to disembark in Cuba after being turned away from the ports of many other countries. Many people have heard about a brigade of Cuban doctors and nurses and technicians going to Italy, in particular the hot zone of the pandemic in northern Italy, and so this has perhaps exposed or revealed a reality of Cuba's medical internationalism that many people didn't know. But the story of Cuba's healthcare system, its aid to countries all over the world, its medical schools open to medical students from all over the world, as well as its biomedical research. All of this is an incredible source of achievement and pride. But what I want to talk about in particular is the need for this record of achievement and this record of inspiration to be more widely known around the world, and not only through news and documentaries and perhaps memoirs, biographies, etc., but through narrative, and in particular film. I believe that this record of achievement, which is, as far as I'm concerned, unparalleled in the world, in the modern world, and probably unparalleled in human history, needs to be, while the Cubans are known for their modesty and humility, I believe that modesty and humility is a disservice, not only to the Cuban people, but to the world. Cuba's medical internationalism is the highest refutation and debunking of the mendacity and libel that is hurled at Cuba on a daily basis. And also, humanity needs these stories of heroism and selflessness, sacrifice, and victory, really, in many circumstances. Humanity as a whole needs these narratives. So I believe that the Cuban artistic community, fostered by the government, should take it as a priority to memorialize these experiences in film. And that could happen many different ways. Perhaps around one character, or maybe more appropriately around an ensemble of characters. This is a story that is bigger than one film. It needs to be, basically, what I'm proposing is a genre of films. Like the way the American cowboy has become sort of an archetype. I believe the Cuban internationalist doctor and nurse and technician should also become an archetype for the world. And the only way that can happen is through sustained narrative. And Cuba has a very proud and illustrious film industry. So I believe that this can be done. Perhaps it will need some support from other countries, but I believe that this financing can be obtained, given the great reservoir of gratitude toward Cuba that is being earned in this particular situation and in other situations. So I believe that all kinds of possibilities are there. What about the doctors who developed the interferon alpha-2b, or the doctors who developed the meningitis B vaccine? Those are, under the pressure of epidemics. These are things that should be memorialized in film. And perhaps they have been in Cuba, I don't know. But regardless of whether or not they have, they need to be done at a higher level, with greater distribution, greater budgets, with the best actors and best directorial talent, the best screenplay writers that the island can furnish. and perhaps in some cases with talent from outside the island, but mostly from within the island, I believe. Um, and so this is for anybody who sees this, who has connections with the island, and could forward this suggestion to anyone in Cuba, any relevant person in Cuba, I please urge you to do so. This is something that I believe needs to happen, should happen, and there's no reason why it should not happen. Perhaps it can't happen today, but in the next in the coming years, this should be something that people around the world will have access to draw lessons from, to draw inspiration from. So that's basically what I wanted to say. I mean, just some examples. The Ebola epidemic in West Africa in 2014. We need a film about that, at least one film. The earthquake in Haiti in 2010, what Cuban doctors did, staying out in the countryside for months under the most difficult of circumstances. Bolivia, doctors staying in indigenous communities that aren't even on maps for months and perhaps years at a time. I don't know. So there are many. I mean, these medical students from other countries who've studied in Cuba. What are their experiences? They need to be memorialized. So on and so forth. And of course, from this experience, obviously, the experience of doctors in Italy. I know that 100 nurses from Cuba have been sent to Barbados, and roughly the same number to Jamaica. So what about their stories, So anyway, I will do some upcoming videos about Dr. Luis Herrera Martinez, who is credited with inventing or discovering, I'm not sure which is appropriate, the interferon alpha 2b, which is was used against dengue fever and has been an antiviral drug for now almost I think almost 40 years. Next year it'll be 40 years. And so I will do a little clip about him. All right, so in the name of the unborn, in the name of the name of the ancestors, and the name of the unborn, who are the same. Ashe, 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 and we will see you soon.